Hi, my name is Joseph Slesher. I am a student here at J-Tech Technical Institute, and I'm going to be in my brakes class showing you guys how to change the brake pads, or inspect them at least, and measure the rotor thickness on the front brakes of a 2015 Ford Fiesta S. So, first thing you're going to want to do here is take a 20. I'm using a little wrench because I don't like using impacts on these, but the bolts, lug nuts are going to be 20 millimeter for all four tires, but for today we're doing these two. So step one is get those off, lift the vehicle, and move on to the next step. Alright, so after you guys get the wheel off and finish lifting the vehicle all the way off the ground, what you're going to do is you're going to take a 12 millimeter socket, 6-point, and you can then go ahead and find the bolts for your caliper, which are that bottom one right here and this top one where the socket is, and take those off, and then you have access to your pads. So after you get the caliper off, the piston part, what you're gonna need is a 15 millimeter socket, and you're gonna want to take off this bolt right here and this one right here. This one's gonna be a little bit trickier to do, but all you really need is an extension. So after you guys get that whole assembly off, you now have access to your rotor, which you should be able to. Some of them you might be able to do it, but this dust shield kind of gets in the way, so they should just come off like that. And then you're going to go ahead and grab a micrometer and use it to measure the rotor. You want to make sure for the specific vehicle, for this one, I believe the spec was you wanted it to stay around 21 millimeters is what you wanted it to be around. That's either 21. So if it's within spec and it's flat, that's a good rotor to reuse. If it's not, and you could resurface, do that. But measure after you resurface to make sure it's still within the minimum spec. Alright, so after you get the rotor off, what you guys are going to do is you're going to take this tool right here. This is a version of a micrometer. These points right here are used to help go around the lips of your rotors, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to zero this out. See, it's at 0 now, so when we get an accurate reading, and then you're going to take your rotor and just kind of wrap this. Maybe I could show you guys. Wrap this around that, and that's basically you get your measurement. I'd recommend doing multiple points on the rotor just so you find out, because one point might read 21 or 22 millimeters and another one might read 21.5 and another one might read 20, so that will let you know that you have a warped rotor. So yeah, and after you do that, go ahead and put everything back on.